My name's Neil Price, I'm the Managing Director of the Box Factory based in Leamington Spa in Warwickshire. We're a corrugated manufacturer, corrugated fibreboard. We produce around 5 to 6 million units, boxes, fittings a month. We've been trading for just over 32 years now. In the last few years we've grown a lot quicker and we're currently turning over in the region of £22 million. So in the last 20 years that we've been dealing with FM services, we've seen huge changes, technology, IT, that side of things. When we first started dealing with you guys, it was just PCs, printers, dot matrix printers at the time, believe it or not, and that's just evolved and evolved. So it's fantastic, the help desk side of things, if we do have any issues, which we inevitably do, usually caused by ourselves actually, but the response times are fantastic, you're out very quickly, and we need people here quickly when it goes wrong. Because everything is so interconnected these days, if we lose an internet connection to a site, our machines stop. We can't run, we can't process anything, we can't track. So it is absolutely crucial, and that bit side of it has been absolutely fantastic. Response times are great. You're always on the phone or on the telephone, and the team on the help desk become almost like an employee of the Box Factory, it feels. Obviously they're not, but it feels like that at times, which is fantastic. Great. The buildings that we're currently in here are in 50, 60 years old. We've taken them on one by one over the years as we've grown. We've had to upgrade power supplies and actually install transformers. So that's been interesting, dealing with Electricity Board and Western Power and all those sorts of people, and FM Service has been fantastic in helping us deal with those. Our environmental credentials are really important to us, and we genuinely believe that. A lot of the things that we do environmentally are also common sense. So for example, we do have a number of electric car chargers, again installed by FM Services. Fantastic for hybrid vehicles and all electric vehicles, which is the way we're going over time. Not yet there with lorries, unfortunately, yet, but we will be there. We will be there one day. So we've pushed that side of things. We have now got 3 solar arrays on our 3 main manufacturing sites. The latest one that's just been finished, again generating I think 50 kilowatts the other day, so that was fantastic. We're really keen on that. We've got big roof spaces, why not use them? One of the big pluses that we have installed are the CCTV cameras. They really are fantastic for a number of reasons. They're great for security, they're great for health and safety. Fantastic for our management team, knowing when lorries arrive, pulling into yards, where people are. We've recently had a control barrier as well on one of our yards. We're trialling that. We will probably now install some more of those, and that just, as we've grown, controls the flow of the vehicles coming in and out of the yards. So they can't all come in and back up, and then we're trying to reverse out. We now know who's in the yard at what time, and it works fantastically.
Hi, we're at one of our sites, the Box Factory in Leamington Spa, and we just thought we'd just walk you through some of the things that we deliver to this client, one of them being access control to the site. In this particular location, we've installed a barrier controlled entry. So effectively what we're trying to achieve is to minimise the amount of traffic that is allowed onto the site at any one given point. And to do this, we've put a 6-foot barrier in, which is automation attached to it. I'll just quickly walk you through how the automation works. So as part of the installation, the client asked us to install access control intercom. There are a number of ways this can be activated. One, by pressing the intercom. It will then connect to a phone system that will allow the person on the other end to speak to the individual at the barrier. PIN code, if it's known to the driver can enter the PIN code, or they can use a access control fob or card. So we're on another site for the Box Factory, and the requirement here is, again, keeping on the thread of transport. We were asked to actually install an electrical infrastructure to support a diesel tank.
Every piece of switchgear and equipment used in this installation is of a Zone 2 flammable explosive area type and rated. The cable used is FP200, fire rated cable, and the data comms cable used also is fire rated. Another feature that we've done on this installation is that the DB is solely just for purposes for the fuel tank, therefore it has an emergency shutdown switch. So if anything did go wrong or anything happened within the building, all you had to do was hit an emergency stop button, which is just over there, and it will shut down the whole electrical system.
When we come to the rear of the actual kiosk enclosure, you will see there's a framework that we had to install. And the important part about this, we had to isolate our electrical supply from the diesel tank in order to ensure that there are no ignition or points of ignition that could cause a problem with the diesel tank. So this particular enclosure was actually built by ourselves. We installed IP rated, so this is IP 55 enclosure, and then we installed contactor switches and a main distribution board. This whole area is constructed and maintained solely for the purpose of the diesel tank. It's not to say that we couldn't add additional devices to it. Right now it facilitates the diesel tank only. You'll also notice in here we have a network switch, connectivity to the network switch for the purpose of CCTV and for actually monitoring how much diesel is being used through the tank. On this particular site we have 3 chargers, 2 22 kilowatt joules AC, and 1 40 kilowatt DC, which is against the main wall. And we liaised with National Grid, who installed a large transformer which allowed us to increase the power internally to allow further manufacturing machinery to be installed inside the factory, which I'll show you as we walk through the building. Just going to give you a quick walk through the building to show some of the things that we've actually done for this client. So this is just a reception area for the client, and in this particular area we've provided fire panel control, and we've allowed CCTV. These services are all provided by us. You have access control, again the brake glasses features for the access control. We wander through into the main space, and the production area here we've provided access control, again CCTV and the fire alarm intruder system. So all of these are built and designed by us. This is the plant room that we designed around that additional power that we acquired from National Grid.
Here we do have a 630 amp main switch, which is fed from the coffin box, which goes into a 800 amp bus bar switch fused down to 630 amps.
In this particular room, if we start from here, we have a special camera up there, which is a thermal camera. And that camera measures the temperature of this room. So Ryan, when he finishes his design and carries out his implementation, he would know what the average temperature of this room should be. This particular client here and this particular roof was an old cement-clad roof. When doing a roof, the first thing we have to consider is the EPC rating, how energy efficient is it, and also could it carry the weight of the actual solar panels. But essentially we had to firstly oversheet this particular side of the roof. So by doing that, what we effectively do is put a safety net in, and we bury that safety net, followed by a 140mm thick insulation covering all of the roof, and then we oversheet it with this metal clad, as you can see here. Once that metal clad is in place, we then layer it again with a solar insulation. So as you can see, the solar panels have been added to the roof, and these go in with a special brackets. As you can see, the brackets are there. Those brackets are then anchored to the fabrication of the building and anchored to the floor, and then obviously underneath there's a mesh, a web would probably be the best word, of wiring which comes through here, through our connection here, and goes down into the building to the inverter, which actually accommodates the generation of the cables. So it's quite a complex situation. This particular installation took 2.5 weeks. That is including the sheeting of the roof and the installation. We're now generating enough for the client, and that they're energy efficient and reducing their carbon footprint policy within their organisation. So again the scaffolding was dealt by us as well, so we delivered the solution end to end without outsourcing to third parties.
We now want to talk about the back end of what happens, how we support them remotely, and the service that we offer is proactive and not reactive. So I'm going to hand this over to Mark, who is our head of IT, who can give you a better understanding of what it is and how we do it.
At Box Factory, we've designed and implemented the network infrastructure with both fibre and Cat6 copper. This allows us to give connectivity to machinery, computers, telephones, access points across the entire estate. We have a firewall in place that filters network traffic and generates alerts for any suspicious activity. All the workstations are protected by centrally managed endpoint protection, updated daily to guard against any malicious threats. In addition, we have email security and web filtering to provide that further layer of protection.
So in order for us to offer the best possible service to our clients, we have help desk operatives located in this office, and they are there to support our clients across a multitude of platforms. So if we're looking at these screens here, you'll see that we're monitoring varying different things. On this side here, we're monitoring people's desktops. So this allows us to see any updates that are needed across the entire estate, not just the box factory, but our entire estate of clients. We are able to see anything that's flagging a warning. And as you can see there, we've got resolved activities and opened activities, which seems goes hand in hand and works quite well. Over on this side, we're monitoring charge points. So we're monitoring all our clients' EV chargers. And this again tells us how many chargers we have with faults. At this stage, we have 0, which is good. Activated charge is currently running at the moment. There's only 7, and that's again across our entire client base. These are located as far as Bournemouth, right down to sort of Manchester. Wherever the location is irrelevant because it's all remotely administered. On this side here, we're looking at the firewall side. We look at sort of potential intrusions, and the guys are looking at this all the time, or if something is flagged specifically, it will alert on here and let them know to immediately go and have a look at it. We have a installation, and this is monitoring every single solar panel that is on their network to make sure that it's performing at its optimum peak. So as you can see, we have the ability to monitor quite a lot of things, from fire panels through to telephone systems, desktop phones, intruder panels. There's not an awful lot that we can't monitor. It really is dependent on client by client. We can even manage access control, allowing flow of traffic to and from a building, shunt doors, which is really important. Where we have a client who's struggling to access the building and cannot gain access, we can shunt doors, which allows that person to access irrespective of their location in the country. The sole purpose for the help desk is nothing more than to give a proactive service rather than a reactive service, the fastest we can do. So SLAs are quite important within the environment from a client's perspective, but also if we can have a first person view before having to send an engineer on site, that is absolutely great for us, and it's great for the client, and it saves the loss of time and revenue by us being able to evaluate things before we send an engineer if the engineer is not actually required, and we can deliver it remotely.